What is going on, faithfuls? It's your boy Nick, Mike, and Croc back again for another Nothing But Niners live broadcast, man. We are here. We're going to talk day 3 of camp. Pads are finally here. Pads, pads, pads. Always about pads, always about that physicality. But anyway, before we get started, we got Mike in here and we got Croc in here. But before we go through all that, make sure if this is your first time following us or tuning in, hit that like and subscribe button right down in the left right-hand corner, wherever it is on your computer, TV, wherever you're watching us from. Make sure you give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram, Nothing But Niners, all spelled out. Check us out on Twitter and Snapchat, Nothing But 9. That's the number 9, ERS. Like I said, that's Twitter and Snapchat. You can also go to the World Wide Web, www.nothingbutniners.com. Check out all the great writers that we got over there. Kev Mitchell, one of our writers, just dropped a bomb piece for a 53-man projection. So go over there and check that out as well. And but yeah, man, without further ado, man, I got Mike here, I got Croc here. Mike, what's going on, man? Yep, Mike is there somewhere. He's on mute, but I don't know.
My bad. I was talking. I was saying stuff and everything. What's going on, man? Guys, I'm happy to be back here to talk the padded practice with you guys. I'm just excited to get to it. You know, I got some trash to talk. I got some myths to put to bed, and then we got Eric here to bring us the facts, the details, and the first eye perspective of it all. So I'm done talking for now. Eric, what's going on, man? How you feeling over there?
I'm good. Still kind of surreal. Like, you know, I'm really out there in the media and doing all that stuff. It's really fun. It's a different perspective, like kind of being on the other side of it, you know? And it's like, damn, I wonder what these people were saying about me when I was playing. Like, damn, that Crocker sucks. Like, you know, but yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I'm good.
Eric Crocker is definitely media man. I'm about to get him a superhero cape with the MM in the middle of it. It's gonna say media man in it with a cape.
I'm going to make myself a new Twitter handle, but it's going to be Hollywood_Croc. So just so you know, be aware, I'm going to make one just so I can get umpteen million thousand followers, 50 million impressions. You know, I'm doing it. And maybe I'll even be able to sneak into and get some free asparagus and some mashed potatoes and salmon or something. But yeah, man. So tell us, you were out there again today. I know you watched, you know, you said you watched a little bit of everybody today, I guess you were saying too. So to give us a little breakdown of what you saw today, and then we'll talk about that right off the bat.
You know, from the start, I kind of wanted to just see, you know, will Jimmy G play a little bit better? And, you know, the first thing they did was they didn't do 7-on-7 today, so they just skipped right over that. They went straight into a run play action period. And it was either the first or second play. He dropped back, play action pass, boom, threw a bomb to Richie James. Like, and it was on the money. Like, it was on the money. He caught it in stride, kind of drifted upfield with it, caught it, you know, walked into the end zone. It was great to see Jimmy G complete that pass. Like, not just for his confidence, but probably for all of our confidence in him. But it was disappointing to see Colbert get beat because safety has been a big issue, and I just feel like there's no way in hell, especially somebody with you know, Colbert's athleticism, there's no way in hell you should give up a post that came from the right far right numbers and all the way across the field let a guy just outrun you to the ball, like, and you're the middle third safety. Like, that should just never happen. So that part of it was disappointing, but you know, it was good to see that was first and foremost.
Before you go on there, who was the corner covering?
It was Sherman, and like Sherman basically passed it off to
the safety.
The safety.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure who it was at first, but man, Chris Biederman said in his write-up, and just like you kind of said, that confidence for us, because he's like, that's the furthest I've seen Jimmy Garoppolo throw a ball since he's been here. And it kind of, we've all been talking about it. Does Jimmy Garoppolo have a deep ball? Like, he never throws the deep ball, and he never throws it. If he does throw it, it's usually off target, or it's not, you know, it's too far, or it's not far enough, or it's out of bounds. But man, watching that video today, I know it's only one play, but it shows that the arm strength is there. It shows that he can step into that front knee, be able to throw the ball. and it was a dime, like you said. It was just right there.
He threw another dime, and there won't be any videos of it because Dante Pettis dropped the ball. But I mean, and that was at the start of like full on team, and I mean, it was a beautiful pass. Pettis came from the right side all the way across a deep crosser, and Warner picked up Pettis, and Jimmy G threw it in the only spot that he could throw it, like the only spot. And I just remember seeing it like come out of his hands because I didn't have a clear picture of like where the hell is he throwing the ball, and I looked like, oh, he's throwing it to Pettis, and it was like right where I was standing, and I mean it was a beauty, and Pettis just short armed it and just missed it, kind of like Kittle, how Kittle missed that ball in a Vikings game. It looked a lot like that, only even a little easier to catch. And Pettis just missed it. And I was just like, damn, like, everybody's looking for you to be the wide receiver one. They're looking for you to be the guy. Those are plays that you need to make look easy. I don't know if we talked about it yesterday, but, guys like Odell Beckham, he makes the difficult plays look easy, and that's why he's special. You know, I'm not saying that Pettis has to be Odell, but, somebody that the fans at least are looking to be the guy. Those are plays that you kind of want to see him come down with. So again, it's like, damn, really nice, by Jimmy G. Great throw, but just terrible drop by Pettis.
Right. While we're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo now, I'll let Mike go real quick. But what were your feelings of when I know there was a lot of questions asked, but what was your feeling when he saw the Red Sea and he just took off and gained 15 yards?
It looked awkward because it was like, should I run? No, I shouldn't. Should I run? Oh, I'm here. I guess I have to run. Like, okay, should I slide? Should I stand? Should I act like I'm gonna slide? Like, it just looked hella awkward. Like, I think everybody was holding their breath. Like, I mean, they're not gonna touch him, but and it was like he like was about to slide, but he didn't slide. He kind of just squatted, like, hey, I'm giving myself up. It was just all weird, but I listening to Shanahan in the presser, just kind of talk about how like that's what he wants. He just wants him to make play, like just make plays, just be safe. Like that's what he said. Like, you need to get down, just get down. Like, go ahead, you can make all the plays you need to make with your legs. But get your ass down.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny when he said, well, it was kind of like a fake slide, but hopefully he does a real slide in the game. Like, I thought that was kind of funny.
It was weird. Yeah, it was awkward.
So, you all right over there, Mike?
Oh yeah. I'm good. I'm letting y'all have y'all moment because I'm gonna bring y'all back to Richie James. I see y'all taking Richie James moment, trying to make it about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, I'm just saying. I just want to kind of stick on Jimmy Garoppolo since we were on him. I mean, obviously we're talking about quarterbacks, so that's pretty much. Other than that, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo had a bad day yesterday, with no pads on, but you could see. Supposedly, you could see the difference in the lines now with blocking. Supposedly, Buckner, Armstead, and D Ford had supposedly what would have been sacks today.
And those dudes are good. They're good. I can't wait for everybody to see our defensive line. Like our front seven. I don't know if it's just like what people say we're supposed to be good, so we're just gonna play like it. But everybody has picked up just this like confidence. They're playing different, man. Like they're playing fast, physical. Even Malcolm Smith, he filled the gap one time and smacked. I don't know if it was Coleman or Breda, but it was like you could just hear it. Like I'm like, man, and everybody's playing like that. Even Greenlaw, like Dre Greenlaw, like it is. I mean, so it's hard to tell. Like, dang, is our offense not good, or is our front seven just that good? And I want to lean towards, hey, maybe our front seven is just good because that's where we've invested the most in. So it's like, goddamn, about time you guys get good, right? But yeah, no, the front seven in general, the defensive line, man, they get after it, dude. Like they are fast. Like D4's humming off the edge. Armstead looks really good. Like it's really something like to see where I think they're just good. I think they're just good. And I think for the first time, it looks like the 49ers have a dominant unit, which again, they've invested a lot into it, but it looks like it's finally paying off.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say to you was Tevin Coleman had said that today, and they were like, "What do you think of this defensive front?" And he was like, "They cold, they cold. Like it's hard for me to get yards. I can't even see holes right now." He's like, which is good. He's like, eventually I'll get the hang of it here on our team, but if it's like that with other teams playing against us, it's like there's something to be reckoned with right there. So I'm excited, man, and I probably wouldn't believe all this hype if I didn't hear it coming from you. You know what I mean? Like seeing you say it and be there, because I'm not trying to buy into all the media hype, but I trust you as seeing that. So that kind of excites me.
Man, Eric's media, man. You still can't believe the hype, bro.
No,
Listen,
he,
hey,
I'm not.
let me.
I'm not.
Nah, we got to pump the brake. Listen, Joe Staley wasn't there today. Our center wasn't there today. Is Lincoln Tomlinson playing? Is he back in the lineup yet?
mm-hmm.
No, but what I'm saying is okay. So they just look fast. Like they look like they are playing extremely fast. That's the like more so than like oh they got pressure on this or would be sacked. Like I'm not really worried about it. It's just how they look. Like they look fast, they look physical, they look powerful, and obviously like I said the 49ers have invested a lot in that. So excuse me. So they should look like that, but it is exciting to see something where it's like, hey, they're moving a little different. Hey, these linebackers are really filling gaps. Oh man, like these guys are closing on passes. Like the windows are a lot of times windows are small. The only time we see big windows, I don't know about our safeties. I don't know. That's been the biggest. The corners have played very well. Slots have gotten beat, some by Trent Taylor, but safeties look like they're probably more of the weak spot. Which to me, I thought they were the biggest issue last year, and I get it. When I talk about the team, I try to put on my GM lens and like try to figure out, okay, why did John Lynch? I try to take the fandom out of it, right? And I just look, why did John Lynch make this move, or why didn't he pull the trigger on this? And I see why he didn't sign, say, like Earl Thomas, but I don't know if Colbert is taking that next step. It's still early on, but two things that we were banking on: one, Ward playing and being good, but he's hurt like he's been, or two, hey Colbert, you're the guy, like take that next step. And I don't know if he is. I mean, he has. I don't think he's broken up a pass since the days I went. Um, I don't know if any of the safeties have broken up a pass. I've seen a few there. Uh, I've seen a few get there and like when somebody caught the ball, they were there to make contact. Um, I've seen Harris have some big hits. I mean, he lifted Tevin Coleman or Mostert? He lifted Mostert off of his feet. Mostert got into the second level, and dude just boom, like lifted him, like Mostert was like on his shoulders. So Harris definitely is a hitter. He's flying around, but I don't see any balls getting knocked away by them. I've seen them get knocked away by everybody else, the corners, linebackers, but not the case with the safeties. So uh, even more, like I've seen Tarvarius Moore out there, and still like nobody making a play on the ball. I'm waiting on that from the safeties.
You think that they're like laying back and just trying to like, are they reacting? Are they thinking too much? I mean, what do you think the reason is? Like, is it the instincts aren't there? Are they still learning the playbook, like because of how many people they're cycling in and out?
That could be it. I just looked at I was watching Tampa Bay Trey, his Twitter, and he posted a video of this safety that had 2 interceptions today, and I retweeted and I was like, a safety making a play, like it must be nice, and it's like it's a dude like he jumped, you can see him come down, boom, jumped it, pick six, like and it's like dang, like can we get that, like can they get their hand on one ball? Something like that. That's what I want to see. If I can see that from defense, then I'll say, okay, hey, this literally can be a legit defense. But it I don't know. That's the one thing that worries me, the safety position.
We just got to hope that they don't have that much time to throw the ball that deep to get to the safety.
And I don't think they typically will, but hey, here and there, things happen. So I want guys that can, hey, 2011 to 2014 49ers, right? Everybody talks about the safeties weren't great in coverage and things like that, but front seven did some things to where, they're forcing bad passes, and you had Deshaun Goodson be like an all-pro safety, reaping the benefits of a terrific pass rush. So I'm hoping that in the games, quarterbacks' time clocks go off faster, and, they throw passes that they typically don't want to throw at that time, and, the safeties make more plays. But right now, I just haven't seen it.
Think there's a chance that we make a move for one of the free agents that are still out there on the market? Like if how like at what point do you think you or the front office start to panic about the safety production or lack of?
I think something like what we saw with the Panthers last year, right? They waited till like week 2, week 3 to bring in Eric Reed. I think with the safety position, like that's what it's like. Okay, we have our young guys, we like them, we want to see how it pans out. Damn, week 1 and week 2, okay, let's go get Eric Reed. I think it can be like a situation like that where, hey, week 1, not seeing it. Week 2, okay, you guys are gonna cost us some games. Let's go get a veteran. Let's go get Eric Berry. I think that's when you see it. I don't think they're gonna do it now because they want to give the young guys every opportunity. Because once you pull the trigger on an Eric Berry, or even like say like Trey Boston, that's it for Colbert. That's it for Ward. You're reserved for the rest of your time with the 49ers. So I'm assuming that they're trying to give them every opportunity to, do something. I think Tart has been solid. He's, especially in the box, he's done some really good things, but I can't say the same for, single high. They have gone to some too high looks, and I think the team has done well with that. But yeah.
Now, Crack, let me ask you this real quick. Do you see much of how Kyle Shanahan was talking about in this new defense, in this type of defense they're running now, where, Colbert comes up and Tart goes back, or Tart stays up and back or closer to the line of scrimmage? Have you seen a lot of that?
Yeah, some rock and roll. That's what they call it, right? Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Does it look different? I mean, has it been working half decent?
That doesn't look different. That's just basically saying that our safeties are interchangeable.
Okay.
So it's pretty much, when they do that, it's similar to what we've seen. It's just, hey, let's change up this look, and last minute, the guy that was down, he's now up, and the guy that was up, he's now down, and it might force the quarterback to hold on to the ball a little bit longer, and maybe that's a result in some would-be sacks, right? That they said have been happening. So there have been some like would-be sacks. There was a pass, and I'm anxious to see how people, because I know people keep stats on quarterbacks, stats in practice, right? We've seen that yesterday. Jimmy Garoppolo, 5 for 13. I wonder if they are taking that into consideration too when he's really just throwing something away, but they're counting that as an incompletion. Because that happened like 2 times today where nothing. Pretty much I'm sacked. I'm just going to throw it at somebody's feet 8 yards downfield. Jimmy Garoppolo did that like twice.
Well, that's what preseason. That's what training camp is all about. We saw them do that with the Giants quarterback on the play that he threw the ball away. People were trying to say that, what's the young man's name? Daniel
Jones.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. Like they killed him for that play. He was throwing it away. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't until players came out and started defending him, saying, "Look, like there was nobody open. He was throwing that away." Wasn't like he was that far off targeting it like that. So it's time to overreact and things like that. And speaking of overreacting, I want to get your opinion. I think it was you that said it on your Periscope. It seems like Trent Taylor is getting the most targets, right? So I want to ask about that because was that you that said that?
Yeah, I could see him. Okay, so go ahead with your question.
Well, the question is, if it was you that said that, and Trent's getting a lot of looks, what do you think the reason behind that is? Do you think is he just the guy that's open? Are they really trying to see, is Trent back? Like, do you think the team is trying to evaluate him, or is it like a concerted effort, like Jimmy, give him a couple more targets, or do you think like it's just the first read, or what how do you think it's playing out?
Yeah,
like, are they I guess my question: are they forcing the ball?
Yeah, no, I think he's just getting open and he's catching the ball, and you can't say the same for everybody else. I haven't seen Trent Taylor drop a ball, right? So that's really good because the most important thing for receivers, like, hey, catch the ball. I've seen, an interception, on a play where Pettis let Akello jump in front of the ball. I've seen an interception, passes thrown to Bourne. I've seen balls go off of, Pettis' hands downfield. I haven't seen any of those things happen when the ball is thrown to Trent Taylor, not in team. Now, he got locked up a couple times in one-on-ones, but in teams, he's been, I don't want to use the word unstoppable, but when he's targeted, he has caught the ball, and he has had some nice catch and run. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world for him to be a high-volume target guy. Just move the sticks. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
No, sorry, my God.
I'm just finishing up my thought, and then you got it. I was thinking that he's getting open. He's got consistent hands. He's a good confidence builder for any quarterback that's out there throwing to him, and he's got this new bat. Let's test this thing out. You know what I mean? You get a new car, you're driving off the lot. They tell you to watch the RPM for the first couple of miles, but then you want to hit the throttle a little bit. You want to see what it's got and what it can do. So, and then my last question to you, real quick, and then Nick can follow up with the Taylor talk or whatever. Is it just Jimmy that's throwing the ball, or is it all the quarterbacks?
Because I focus so much on the receivers and DBs, a lot of times I don't know what quarterback is out there. And I don't actually I have, let's see, where my notes at? 1 second.
All right, so while he's doing that, Nick, you can come back in. I wasn't trying to cut you off, buddy. Sorry.
No, I cut you off, son. My bad. I was just gonna what I was gonna ask Croc, and he can answer this after he looks for his notes. Is are all Trent Taylor's routes seem to be 8 and comebacks or get open in 10 yards, like just stick beaters, or does it look like he's running different routes?
And he's running. So I got him right here. I don't have his name a whole lot right here, but one of my first notes, Taylor 20-yard over, Better threw the ball. So he ran a 20-yard over route. He was wide open, caught the ball, ran. He got about 20 yards. Yeah, so that was one where I wrote down who threw the ball. Taylor slant, Jimmy threw the ball. He beat Mosley. So yeah, it looks like they're all throwing on the ball.
See that?
I think yesterday, what was it? It was Mullins, right?
Yeah.
So see, they're all throwing the ball.
Taylor been watching these videos and he hear me hating on him, saying he's one-dimensional. He said, "Nah, I'm gonna open this shit up." Mike gonna have to eat some crow, and I love it. I love it. That's what I'm looking for, man. We want to see these guys improve, man. And if there's a way to do it, it's gonna make the team better. We got to do it. We absolutely have to do it. I'm not one of those guys who's gonna be like, "Oh, I didn't like this guy. He made the team, and I'm gonna keep hating." No, it's good. This is great stuff that we're hearing right here. This is what we want to hear about this team going forward. We want to see these guys getting better. You know what I mean? Yeah, we see it, we call it, and we predict. The prediction is wrong, but we want to see the team getting better. You telling me Trent Taylor running 20-yard routes now, all of a sudden, I can't sit here and be like, "Oh, he's a 7-yard guy. That's it. That's all he's got." He's doing his damn thing. All right, Nick, I'm done, man. That's what's up for Trent, man, for real.
What is and I want to get to this because of that Richie James bomb, because watching him in his footwork drills, watching him with his speed, watching his route running in one-on-ones has looked like it's got tremendously better. From video, what were your takes on Richie James overall in what you see in his route running or the way that he's getting open in separation? Because last year he didn't look so fluent. This year he looks very fluent.
Yeah, I don't know. The weird thing is, we see the ability, right? The bomb that he caught. So obviously he has deep speed. The comeback on my Twitter account that's damn near gone viral. We see the ability, but I haven't seen that consistently within the offense. I don't know if they're just not using him, if they're not dialing those things up, but I really can't recall any other time he was targeted other than the deep ball. Maybe he has. I gotta look at my notes, but and there's a lot going on. But he definitely hasn't been involved as much as any of the other guys you can even think of. Like, everybody has caught more passes. Everybody has been targeted more. And Bourne, who I felt like wasn't really targeted yesterday at all, today he came up with like 3-4 catches where he's getting targeted. And I'm not seeing the same thing from Richie James.
And that's why Shanahan tells you guys all the time. Well, not you guys, but he tells us all the time. Like, I got to go back and watch the film. It's not about who's getting targeted. Well, that's what people are going to write about. That's what we're going to react to. That's what we're going to see the videos of. But he's going to go back and look and see who's running the routes and if they're getting open and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool, man. I hope to see more of that. I do know that Richie had another catch today. I remember. I can't remember what the route was, but I remember someone making a big deal about it. I don't know if it was in 7-for-7 or if it was a full team, but I know that
No, they didn't do 7-on-7 today, so it had to be a team.
Okay. All right, so then I know that they were talking about Richie with a second catch, but I can't remember what it was though. So that's what's up, man. Go ahead.
Or the 1-on-1. Because the 1-on-1, he came out of his break like
that was the one where I was killing I was talking about his footwork there. Like he was running full speed, broke down and turned, but he turned with the third step. Like his breakdown was crazy to me. Like
no, listen. So I don't know if he did this on purpose or if he did I don't know. But right before he broke, he looked left as if the ball was coming. So what's the corner gonna do? Like
slow down and look.
Think, oh, it's a deep ball. Like so he's gonna like get ready to, okay, I'm still thinking about running straight and I'm about to look back. But as soon as he probably was thinking he's about to do that, boom, Richie James sat it down and Maven had no idea that was coming. Like no idea. That was a good route. I've had people still in my video. But that was a great route. Great route.
Yeah, it was crazy because I kind of thought the same thing. Like he sold that route with his eyes. The way that he was running looked like he was gonna break and go still like on a slant deep. Like the way he kept his eyes downfield, and then he was just like, and broke back. Right. So that was like really impressive to me today. So you said Kendrick Bourne had a better day. Did Jordan Matthews have a better day today?
Yeah, 1-on-1s too. He got locked up his first rep by DJ Reed, and then after that he beat DJ Reed the next 2 times. One, he just blatantly pushed off. I'll send you guys a video. It was just like, I push you once, I'm gonna push you again and create space for the slant. Like, excuse me, full on bully him. And then he beat DJ Reed on a deep like corner route during 1-on-1s. It looked like Reed was kind of off balance the entire time. It was kind of weird. So he did do that, show a little bit of deep speed and deep ball ability. In team situations, it was all like 5-yard catch in the middle, in the soft spot. It was those type of things.
My question to you, other than that, was in a lot of those videos that I've seen today on 1-on-1s, there was a lot of physicality between the receiver and the DB. A lot of people were like, "Oh, that's a push off on Marquise Goodwin and Sherman." Like there was just a lot of hand fighting to get open, which I like to see. And then you see them break back and still catch the ball. And the one video I wanted to talk to you about was the one where you're like, I like it at the end with the fumble.
Oh, yeah.
And they were fighting. I forget which receiver it was. Oh, it was Malik Henry.
Yeah, Malik Henry and who was Gardner? It happened twice. Verrett too. I have the Verrett video too. I didn't post it, but Verrett punched it out against Bourne. Who was it? Mosley? Who was it? It was. They were diving on the ground for it.
Yeah, they were like diving all over the place. Nobody could come up with it.
Yeah, I can't think of who the corner was. I think it might have been Mosley.
And I just laughed at the end. You were like, I like it.
I say things, but I forget that I'm recording. But yeah,
it was funny though. So if you had to make a guess, who was your standout receiver from today? Or if you had to say off of what you've seen today, not a guess.
Yeah, I'd probably go Trent Taylor again. It was either him or Bourne. Bourne caught a few passes, caught a nice one where he caught it about 14 yards downfield. Boom, caught it, turned upfield, and ran for like another 20 yards. That was nice.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm really liking, what we're seeing from these receivers, what we're seeing from our corners, the physicality, the route running, the footwork, just everything in general looks like it's just gotten so much better. Like from everybody, it looks like there's no lackadaisical type of play. They're
competing their ass off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
It really looks like they just have a whole different mentality right now compared to what I've seen in training camps from last year, even seen in physicality in games. It's just, to me, it's just completely, it looks like a completely different mindset this year. And it's like how everybody keeps asking the question, well, you've been here to all the coaches and players. You guys been here building for 3 years. Is it time now? And they're like, and most of the time you hear that cookie cut answer, yeah, it's time. Like, we need to win games. But I can physically see, do you physically see that as well? Like, do you see a huge difference in the way these guys are practicing and the mindset and mentality all around?
Yeah, when they're practicing hard, it looks fast. So anytime you see a game you're watching practice and everything looks fast, that's because everybody's giving like big time effort, and I think that type of thing is infectious. It starts with people setting the tone. Even plays like Jalen Hurd yesterday, like that's setting the tone. Like, this is how we have to prepare. Like, if you don't like it, then don't let me beat you. And I know you guys heard the presser. Kyle Shanahan addressed that whole thing. And so it was exactly what I thought. Guys getting frustrated because they couldn't get off the block. Like, that's not my fault, bro. So,
yeah.
I like it. It's compete. And I think the more people compete, the more it raises other people's games because, like when a DB sees Hurd, he knows, hey, especially if it's a run play, this guy's gonna bring it. So I have to bring it back, but also, he put a target on himself. He saw Kello pick the ball off and toss it at him.
I was just gonna say, like, they were fucking teasing him. Like, here's the ball back. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's like a F you. Like, that's like F you. Like,
yeah, like I like
that's
it.
What
though.
that is.
Well,
I love it. I love it. When I saw him do it, I was just like, yeah. But I was telling somebody, I was like, I bet Hurd has a target on his back. That's what they do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike said that yesterday. He thinks that Hurd's gonna have that target on his back, and you said it as well. And that's what it looked like today. Like, Akello caught the ball, probably would have been a pick six if that was like a play in a game. And he's like, oh, let me stop and throw it back to you. Here it is. Here's your present. And, like, I got your number, like, type of thing.
And the best part was that he didn't even look at him after he tossed it to him. He just walked off. Like, that was like the icing on the cake for me. It was like, here you go. And like, he didn't even look back to see if he caught it or nothing. Like, Akello was just gone. Like, Akello's not a talker. He ain't gonna be out there. He don't want to be. He ain't coming fisticuffs with nobody. You know what I mean? But that's dope. And I love that competitiveness. I know. Never mind. I shouldn't say I know. This joint practice we're gonna do this year, it's gonna be lit.
Oh, it's gonna get physical. It's gonna get physical. Now it's cool to have access to these practice. I wish I could be at those practices. Who travels like Matt Barrows, right? Or Mayoko? Yeah, I need to be on their level. Because that would be, I want to see that. Broncos, right?
Yep. Broncos. Oh yeah.
Man.
Oh, it's gonna be net. Joe Woods going back to his old team. Like, come on, man. It's gonna be nasty.
We're gonna dominate. I think our defense is gonna dominate the Broncos. I don't think that's gonna be close. I think if you look at how our corners are playing, if you look at the receivers they have, I don't think that's a good matchup for the Broncos.
Well, we're gonna see because Joe Flacco got an arm.
Emmanuel Sanders. Hold on, let me take a step back. Emmanuel Sanders. Okay. But outside of Emmanuel Sanders, Courtland Sutton, and I like Courtland Sutton. Whew. Oh no, or Akello and Sherman, they're looking ready.
Flacco got an arm, man. Somebody get deep. It's gonna be some plays going on out there. You got Vic Fangio going against the Niners. You got Joe Woods going against the bro. These it's gonna be like, hey, y'all gotta hold me down out there. Like they're gonna be doing it for the big dogs. Like it's gonna be crazy. I can't wait for the joint practice.
You got John Lynch going back to Denver too.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like yo, oh my god, it's gonna be beautiful.
Guys, Bleacher Report just asked me if they use my video. At least they asked. Hold on, I'm gonna respond to them real quick.
Hollywood, get on that.
He is Hollywood for real. All right, I'm gonna put him on mute while he's doing that so we don't hear him typing and shit. It was Maven. It was Maven that was going for the fumble. I heard you guys talking about it earlier. I didn't want to cut you guys off or anything like that. So that was that.
Mr. $1,000 a minute.
Bro, you know I like that. Is that still him talking? All right. Yeah, nah, that's not funny, Nick. That's
you want me to pay you $1,000 a minute for that?
Yeah, like come on, man. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Oh god damn it. You got me like wanting to say stuff that I'm not supposed to be saying, so I'm gonna let it go. But listen, man, there was a lot of good stuff that came out of camp today, man. I like that the guys that we saw as like the bottom of the totem pole as far as the wide receivers go, the guys that were going to get that 6th or 7th spot if they keep 7, are the ones that had good days today. Bourne, Richie James, you know what I mean? We know what Trent Taylor is. Trent Taylor has been old faithful, old reliable, right? But Eric's telling us something that nobody else reported on today. He caught a 20-yard route. No one else reported on that. I think Trent Taylor, I think a short, shifty slot guy that's going to kill you from 5 to 12 yards. That's his zone. You tell me Trent Taylor, that's what I think. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm not surprised by that. He told me he didn't drop a pass. I'm not surprised by that. We know Trent Taylor's got reliable hands. 20 yards? Aha. That's something new. That's something different. I like hearing that. Nick, it's not looking good for your prediction about Jordan Matthews, man. It's not looking. And let me tell you, that's a good problem to have.
Oh, that's a great problem to have. It's and like I said, whoever is picked as the 6th or 7th receiver, whatever we're keeping, I'm going to support, obviously, because obviously they made a jump to be better. And the reason of bringing Jordan Matthews in here was because of the leadership type of, bigger things that he could do, but to push these other guys. And if he's doing that, then he's doing his job. Whether he believes he's doing his job or not, he's pushing these younger guys to say, I need to be better than that. It's a long camp, and it really is. But the best part of the camp right now is we have a really good competition between the receivers. We have a really good competition going between the linebackers. We have a really good competition going between the DBs. Safety still needs to be worked out. The competition between running backs seems like it's starting to heat up. And that was one of the things that I wanted to touch with on Croc, but Croc looks like he just dropped out. I think he froze, so I think he's going to probably come back in. But
I think it's 45 minutes or
could be also. Hakuna Matata. But yeah, so it's like there's a lot of things to be excited about right now. And I know it's only camp, but I'm talking excitement as in the competition level, the physicality, the things that we're hearing about receivers that we're not used to hearing, the things that we're seeing from, guys like Richie James, who I love as a person, just didn't think that he did enough last year as a receiver to boost himself up. But now it looks like his footwork's better. His speed is better. He's always been fast, but his use of his speed, I guess you could say, coming in and out of breaks, his footwork looks better. His hips sinking look better. But like I said, it's early in camp, but these are all things that we should be excited about.
and something else that's crazy, right, is that we're healthy right now. There's a couple of injuries, but let me tell you, it's really just 2 guys that are missing significant play due to injuries, right? If I held a Twitter poll or a poll amongst the YouTube subscribers for any 49er page, right? And I said, if I told you guys that through 3 practices, there were going to be 2 49ers players that weren't injured, I would say 99.999% of people would say it's Jimmy Ward and Joshua Garnett. I mean, that's it, right? Everybody else is being either held out for precaution, workload management, and everyone else is going, man. We're rocking,
which is the same with Jimmy Ward right now. He's just, he's back, he's running and stuff like that, but he's just not cleared for contact yet. So, that's going to be – that's the thing right now. But if you listen to what Kyle Shanahan said today, he's not so much giving guys days off. It's the way they're rotating them in right now, and that's why he doesn't really know who's out there, when they're out there, or who's going to be out there, because of the fact of he doesn't see that until he watches tape, because they're trying a different regime, like a routine this year, as in the way they're rotating players, whether it be Tevin Coleman and Matt Breida, which seem like the only two guys that we have really been seeing run the ball right now. You haven't really heard or seen Mostert running the football, Jeff Wilson Jr. running the football. The other thing that I take away from these pressers today is the mindset these running backs have. You've heard it from Tevin Coleman. You've heard it from Jerick McKinnon earlier in the year. You've heard it from Matt Breida. They don't care about how many times they touch the football. They don't care about how many times they score. They don't care about their statistics this year. As long as they're winning, that's what they're trying to do. And that mindset to me is just like, you heard George Kittle say it the other day. And then you heard Kyle Shanahan say, well, he's probably lying because everybody has more fun when the ball's in their hand. But you heard George Kittle. I'm not worried about all that. I don't need the football in my hand to help my team win. Me blocking, I need to get better at. Me doing this, I need to get better at. And these are the things that I like that I'm hearing from the players this year. And you can say it's cookie cutter or it's, cliche or whatever you want to say. But to me, I can see that difference. Like, you can literally see the difference amongst every player, the way they're playing right now. So, man, I'm just super excited, man. What do we got? A week and a half till August 10th, right? August 10th is the first preseason game. I'm so looking forward to that, man.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, man. I've been going back and I've been listening to things. I've been dissecting stuff. I was listening to Kyle Shanahan talking about how and why he brought in Jordan Matthews. Did you hear that quote about why he brought in Jordan Matthews?
Because of Miles Austin.
No. Well, no. Maybe he said that, but that's not the quote that I picked up. He said because we wanted more size at that position.
Oh yeah, he said that too. And then somebody was like, well, something about bigger receivers. He's like, well, I'm not just talking about height. He's like, it gives them more of a bigger body, like a zone to throw the football. So I meant to bring that up tonight because I was listening to that. That's the second time he said that. He said it in yesterday's presser, and he said it in today's presser. And he even called Debo a big guy. And he's like, and when I'm talking about Debo and talking about receivers, yes, do I like big receivers? Yes, but I want a complete receiver. Somebody who's going to be able to create separation even though he's big. We brought in Jalen Hurd for that type of thing. We brought in Jordan Matthews for that type of thing. We brought in Debo Samuel for that type of thing. And I'm not talking about contested catches. I'm talking about a bigger body, bigger area to be physical and throw the football to. So, but somebody asked him about Jordan Matthews as well, and he said, well, he was with Miles Austin in Philly, and Miles Austin, gave his whatever. And,
like a recommendation, so to speak.
Right,
yeah.
Recommendation, and for that much, he's doing exactly what we expect him to do. Like, he's not doing better than what they expect. He's basically what they expected him to be right now.
Yeah, so my notes for today's show were Trent Taylor getting busy and looking good. I have a big day for Witherspoon again with another pick. We discussed that. Richie James getting busy, 2 good plays, good one-on-one, 70-yard touchdown. Kendrick Bourne whispers are starting. Jimmy Garoppolo running up the middle without fear. Let me stop on Jimmy Garoppolo really quick. That touchdown pass to Richie James, I'm not harping on it because it was Richie James, but I wish we could see his footwork. Our biggest critique about Jimmy has been stepping into the deep plays. From everybody that I heard and I talked to about that play in particular, they said there was touch. There was it was touch on there. It was enough zip, enough arc. Like, it was a perfect throw. And then there was another perfect throw Eric was talking about that Pettis just flat out dropped, right? And Jimmy worked with a different guy this year or this offseason. He worked with someone different this offseason about his footwork and things like that. I'm wondering, and this was something that we talked about. I said with him sitting back, I wonder if he's going to realize that he can't rely on his athleticism. He's going to have to work on the technical points more. So I'm hoping that this is something that we're going to see just be consistent. Maybe he's going to be forced to be a tad bit slower as far as physically moving and things like that. And so he's going to have to rely on technique, footwork, hips, and things like that, and using his body as an entire and complete tool, not just his arm. I wish we could see his entire body for this throw, the 70-yard throw. Everyone's saying it went 60 yards in the air. You guys saw me trying to throw 60. I was doing it in the rain, though. So, give me a break. But you guys saw me trying to throw the ball just to get my 60 yards, and it's not easy. It's not easy. So I would love to know how Jimmy did it and the way his body looked when he did the throw. So that was another point that I had here.
Well, there was a report that came out that he looked good stepping into the throw. And they asked Kyle Shanahan about that, said, how do you feel that Jimmy looked good stepping into that throw? How do you feel he's coming along? And Kyle kind of said, well, he throws the ball deep all the time. It's not only about the ball being thrown deep. It's about making the right read. It's about seeing it, having the pocket to be able to see it, and the pocket to be able to get rid of the football. So, it all comes together.
Yeah, Shanahan can say all that if he wants to, but Jimmy has made the right reads. He has had the pocket to make the deep throws and all that, and he's completely missed. He can downplay the fact that he made the throw, but to me, that's the most important thing. Jimmy's already a cerebral quarterback. If the read is there, he'll find it. You know what I mean? If the pocket's going to allow it, he'll stand tall and deliver. It was the accuracy down the field is what the issue was. And to hear today that he laid two beautiful dimes down the field, it gets you going, man. Like that's what we've been missing. Like, look, this has been it's only 3 days. I don't want to sit here and jump on the table and start celebrating too early or anything like that. But this has been an off season of growth. Too many times 49er fans will see a player after 1 year and feel like that player is done. He's finished. That is it. This is as good as they're going to get. This is the only team in the NFL that gets players and that player can't grow anymore. It's the only team I've ever seen in the NFL where the fans feel that way. But we're seeing it. We're seeing it with Kendrick Bourne. We're seeing it with Richie James, with Trent Taylor, with Jimmy Garoppolo. We are literally seeing it with everybody that we have brought in, like homegrown, Jimmy Garoppolo's not homegrown, but you know what I mean, though. Like the homegrown talent is taking steps forward, man. It's really, really, really exciting, man. And the last thing I got, go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The last note that I had here, it says Quan Alexander confirmed he's playing Will. Oh shit, he is back. I thought his 45 minutes were up for sure. Quan Alexander confirmed that he's playing Will today, not Mike.
Yeah.
So that was, to me, that was a big deal because that is also the team. Maybe it's Robert Saleh, whoever. This is the team showing a huge vote of confidence for our second-year linebacker in Fred Warner. And you hear Eric talking about how they're flying around and how good the front seven includes the linebackers. I even heard Malcolm Smith getting praised today. You know what I wanted to drink when I heard that? Like, what? Like, that's got to be a drinking game all by itself. Just anything positive about Malcolm Smith, guzzle. Whatever's in front, I don't care if it's hand sanitizer, just drink it. Like, that's like that's crazy. You don't hear anything positive about Malcolm Smith. I heard good stuff about Malcolm Smith today. And so for these linebackers to be looking and sounding as good as they are with the pads on.
Malcolm Smith was labeled as the biggest hit today, I think, in two people's reports. But talking about Fred and Quan, I wouldn't take too much consideration into that, as in them having so much trust with him and Mike, because in this defense, Saleh and Shanahan and Fred and Quan had said Mike and Will are exactly the same. It's just a matter of calling the play.
Listen, they tried telling us that same exact shit when Reuben Foster was here. Yeah, Reuben Foster could not get that green dot. After everybody went on record saying we want Reuben Foster to be the Mike, he could not get the green dot. It's exactly the same. Why couldn't he get it? Because it's about communication. It's about leadership. It's about leadership. And it's like I said, it's a good sign. It's a good sign and show of faith that they believe that Fred Warner can still do it.
Right. Yeah, which is fine. I think Fred should stay there because it's just he's used to that. You know what I mean? Wearing that green dot. And I mean, not to take anything away from Foster's play, but I mean that guy could barely speak a sentence too. So
he just called Foster dumb in front of everybody. Hey yo,
what am I lying?
Nah, like, I'm passing off to Eric. I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So Eric, what were you were talking about something before you left, and I can't remember what it was. You're looking for your notes on something.
Nah, I've been went through the notes.
We were talking. What were we talking about, Mike, when he froze?
I don't know.
I can't remember. So
we were talking about wide receivers. Jimmy. Yeah, I think it was a wide receiver conversation because I know as soon as he froze, I said that it was Maben.
Oh yeah, it was Maben with the fumble.
Maben with the fumble on the fumble play where they were scrambling for the ball. But I can't remember what the very last thing was that y'all were talking about.
How has Quan looked?
Good. Fast.
He's still fast coming off of his injury?
I don't know if like it's really hard. Like I can't, kind of like you guys said earlier, it's hard to put too much stock into it until you see them play somebody else. But they just look fast and energetic, like the entire defense. Well, except for the safeties.
Now let me ask you this: I know we don't tackle a whole lot at camp, like full physical tackle. Putting the hit stick on people. But how does Quan look? Does he look like he's rapping?
I haven't seen that. I haven't paid attention to that.
Okay. What
I want to go about defensive standouts to you, Eric, and it don't have to just be the secondary either. Like anybody that's standing out on defense or someone that's like, oh shit. Like I know, for example, our guy Mosley. I know you really big on Mosley. That's somebody I've been pulling for since we interviewed him. And I made it clear I like this dude just because we interviewed him here, Nothing But Niners. But you got on the hype train. I was like, oh, that's it. Now that's all the validation I need right there. But is there anybody that's standing out to you that's like, yo, like this guy, he's better than what I thought? You don't have to be special. You don't have to be, whatever, but he's better than what I thought.
I don't know. It just looks like a lot of guys just doing their job. I think yesterday it was like just so clear. Like Kelly Witherspoon was like the best player on defense. Like he was playing that well. But outside of like that, which it was just so obvious, because like every time they try him, I mean, one time he undercut a route and like the 49ers were so lucky it was a bad pass. He's just playing with a lot of confidence right now. Outside of that. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say just one person just super stands out. I just think as a unit, they've collectively just played very well, very fast. They all look fast. But, I can't say like, oh, man, this guy just, there are guys that I noticed. I've noticed Dre Greenlaw a lot.
Right.
Like,
so.
Oh, that was nice. I'm looking like, oh, that was Greenlaw. Like, oh, okay, dang, that was Greenlaw. Like, I've noticed him a lot, like, on things like going forward. I noticed him in coverage, one of the first plays of the run play action segment. Like, so Greenlaw is somebody that has flashed. Now I don't know, like I don't want to say like consistently he's just been so good, but I'm just saying as far as like, oh then that was Greenlaw. Oh, okay, that was Greenlaw. Oh, okay, nice play by Greenlaw. Like I know I've said that a few times.
Yeah. Now do you saying that
he's running with the ones. He's like most of the time when he's doing these things, he's playing with the ones. Like it's not like it's against like third string offense.
Right. He's out there with the big dogs. No, that's good. That's a good thing. You're saying that they're playing fast. You think that the defense has like you think they simplified it for them so they're thinking less and they're just out there like reading and reacting, like they just going?
Yeah, well, a lot of times during training camp, you just install your base offense. I mean defense. Well, and offense. it's very basic. So it definitely is. I'm pretty sure it's super simplified. You're not scheming to play against, our own offense. You might say like, hey, they like to do this or that, but you're not really like, okay, they line up like this, we're gonna call this play. If they line up like this, we're gonna call this play. You're not seeing that. So yeah, it probably is super basic, super simple. They come out in 2x2s. We're going to this. There has been communication, which I liked. I saw Mosley. Mosley was playing in the slot. DJ Reed was playing on the outside. There was a tight split. Mosley was like, "Hey, bump out, get back." Like Mosley was communicating to Reed like what to do. And then after the play, I saw them come together, talk about it, and give each other a high five. So, yeah, I think they are keeping it simple, and it seems like guys are, having solid communication.
Communication is definitely a big deal. And you saying that we keep it vanilla because it's just training camp, but according to Grant Cohn's video, Shanahan was pulling out some of the stops early on. Went play action first play, and Grant really made it sound like Shanahan was trying to put the pieces on the defense today. So I don't know, man. I'm just telling you what he said. That's what I heard.
Trying to get that offense to start firing on all, like cylinders. That's what he's trying to do.
They were completely dominated yesterday.
Yeah, they couldn't get anything done yesterday.
So, yeah, today he came out. I mean, it was really like the first or second play. It was the big play to Richie James. Like that was like the first or second play when the team came together. So
yeah, I think it was reported as the very first play. So, my other question to you is, how do we look when I know we played wide 9 last year, very very seldomly, but with the speed of the linebackers, and if we're in wide 9 on a rush, on a run play, how do our linebackers look filling gaps? Really good or like fast and being able to fill?
Yeah, they've looked really good.
Because I know a lot of people were worried about that. Well, the wide 9, because wide 9 really is known more as a run easier defense. But I always said if we have that speed at linebacker being able to beat the blocker to the gap, to the hole, then it works. And I think we have that.
This is the thing. I don't know if like if Kyle's running like inside zone plays or dives or anything like that, that is like the counter to the wide 9. You know what I'm saying? So if we're playing wide 9 and he runs the outside zone, well that's gonna play right into our hands as long as the edge holds the end. And so far from what I saw, like I saw Bosa getting double teamed and still set the edge. So what's a running back supposed to do? Well, now I have to try to cut back inside. And he cut back inside, and there was 3 linebackers waiting on him. Boom.
Bro, you got me so hyped over here about our defense right now. Like, we were all talking shit in the beginning of the season. Like, okay, well, top 12 defense. I heard some people say top 10. I heard some people say top 5. I've even heard D4 say top 5. Right. And, bro, it sounds like there's a lot of speed. And like you said,
D4 is probably looking at it like, well, we had the opportunity to be good in Kansas City, but our damn secondary couldn't play well. And right now, our secondary outside of the damn Cobra play, and I mean a couple other plays here and there, but offenses, they're gonna move the ball a little bit. Outside of that, like our secondary has played very well when the team comes together. When the team comes together, the secondary has played very well. So he's probably looking at it, well, like, hey, the secondary keeps playing like this, and we know what we're gonna bring on the front end. That's a really good defense. That's probably how he's looking at it. Now, obviously, the counter argument to that is, well, the offense isn't really scheming against the defense right now. Like, right. They caught a couple of those deep overs, but Shanahan's going to run that no matter who he's playing against. So, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know how good they're going to be. I have to see it, in the preseason. I want to see it against Dallas. Dominate Dallas, because remember, Dallas marched down the field on this last year. Boom, 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 touchdown. Remember that? Ward gave up the touchdown. So dominate Dallas on that first possession, then I might start sipping the Kool-Aid a little bit. But right now, they do look solid.
All right, man. I like it, man. I don't think I have many more questions about today's camp. There weren't any special teams going on today, right, Eric?
Yeah, it wasn't anything like special. It was, I mean, they did like some like mock kick returns, working on their blocks and things like that. That was it. Or it was a punt return. It was one of those.
Yeah. How did they punt? Did they physically punt today? No, still using the jugs.
Yeah.
No field goals either.
Nope.
If you were to take a guess, and I know you're probably not going to know the correct answer to this, but how many times did we score on 11 on 11s? Did they do a red zone drill?
Nah, but they're probably gonna do red zone tomorrow. Last day before the time off, or the day off. So red zone's probably gonna come tomorrow.
Are you gonna be there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the pads will be clicking and clacking tomorrow. That's for sure. Today they were popping though. The pads were popping today. But I know they're gonna really get at you get on that 5-yard line, like bodies are gonna hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you another question. The other day you said that there was something weird going on in your mind with Deebo Samuel. Have you seen anything different from him today?
Today he looked a little quicker off the line. Somebody asked me that in the DMs. I just sent them a video. He looked quicker. I don't know if it's. I'm not. Everybody knows I'm an Akello guy, so I don't want to continue to like try to hype him up or say that Akello is this or that. I've always felt that he was decent. I don't know if it was just because Deebo was lined up with Akello over him, and Akello got his hands on him, and that was it. And that happened several times. And it happened with Deebo against DJ Reed as well. DJ Reed got his hands on him, and that was it. Now today, he did catch one. Who popped him? Ooh, somebody popped him. Fred Warner. Fred Warner popped him. Boom! He didn't wrap up on him, but it was like if he wrapped up, he probably it was a nice little hit. But it was a nice little game. He's gotten a few targets, but it doesn't seem like they are really working to take the initiative to get him the ball. And I think with his skill set, I think that is something that they can eventually do, but I just haven't seen them go to that just yet.
All right, sweet. So one of the fan is asking Eric. He said, "Did you see anything better from Harris Jr. or Mayo today?"
I remember saying, "Hey, good play, Mayo," like one time in coverage. But Harris, he didn't practice today.
Oh, he didn't practice today.
I didn't see him out there at all.
Did he have hurt feelings?
Right. I actually should have asked Shanahan that in the presser, but those dudes fire off questions so that fast. It's hard to, but
yeah,
he didn't practice at all.
So all right, so you've been there 2 days and you can't, so I want to know who your camp standout so far is from your personal opinion. And you can't say Akello and you can't say Trent Taylor. Who would be your next person that's your camp standout?
Why are you hating, Nick?
Well, no, because we already know Akello and Trent have both been doing something. So I want to kind of see who else would be there.
Oh, I got to think long and hard.
Pause.
Nick Mullins has been solid. He's been decent.
Ooh, love for the third quarterback. All right.
So
second quarterback. Get that right.
So Nick Mullins has been decent. Not anything. I think he's just doing his job. Like he's not like throwing the ball downfield or anything, but he's been decent. Richard Sherman. Can I say him?
Yeah, you can say him.
He's been consistently doing his job. and just really the front defensive line as a whole.
Yeah, I think these.
Buckner has jumped off sides 2 times in 2 days.
Oh man, Ford being here now, he's rubbing off.
Well, Ford was lined up off sides in the play. Scott posted it in the group. I don't know if y'all saw it. He was just straight up like whole helmet past the ball.
Oh yeah, you talking about in the championship game?
Mm-mm.
No, in practice today.
In practice.
Well,
it was from yesterday, but Scott posted it today.
It was the defensive line against Mike. It was him against Mike McGlinchey with a full line out there.
You guys know he blew the Super Bowl, right? I mean, he blew their
the championship game.
Here we go. He ain't blow it. They should have. Never mind.
I didn't think he was completely offsides on that, but I think the tip of the helmet was over the ball.
Just a tip. Just a tip.
He was offsides.
Yeah, he was offsides. No, I'm saying today.
Oh, no, it was just his hand.
Well, I thought his hand was on the line, the same line the ball was.
Yeah, that's what was offsides.
Yeah. So Zach said pause. So I guess we can everybody can stop worrying about Jimmy G now. He looks pretty good so far, right?
I mean, I think the thing with all of them, with all the guys is, you want them to string together
practices.
Yeah, practice, like good practices. Like, you don't want to one practice here, one, you just want to see them string it together. I felt like Akello strung together 2 good days, 2 very strong days. Can he continue that? So that would put a lot of confidence in a lot of people. Kendrick Bourne, today he was solid. Like, can he continue that? Can Jalen Hurd get some targets? Because he hasn't really been getting any targets. I think I've only seen the ball thrown to him 1 time and he caught it. Trent Taylor has been stringing together good. So I think that's what I want to see. I just want to see, like, hey, like let's just see some consistency, especially from Pettis. Because yesterday there was some good. He made some strong catches. The interception, okay, and then today he just got bullied in one-on-ones. So, just consistency.
I know you got to jump off here, but I want to ask you one more question. Is Ross Dwelly still lining up as the second tight end?
I haven't even paid attention to the tight ends, but I haven't paid attention really to the tight ends. But Kittle today caught one and outran somebody and stiff-armed somebody and ran through somebody else and kept running down the sideline.
For an 80-yard touchdown, right? It was an 80-yard touchdown.
Nah, he stepped out. Like, he stepped out like 2 or 3 steps out of bounds. So
that's what I meant. They said what would have been like an 80-yard touchdown, I think they said.
Yeah, but he stepped out. But yeah, no, it was nice. It was like, oh, okay, there he is. Because I don't remember really seeing him too much the day before.
Right. Sweet. A lot of positives today.
Yeah, it's always good when you see both sides, win.
Yeah, you want to see that back and forth. One day, or even all together in the same day. Offense wins 10 plays, defense wins 10 plays. Like you want to kind of see that because that means you're getting better offensively and you're getting better defensively. So,
right.
The biggest positive out of today is, other than Joshua Garnett, still knock on some wood, but no injuries.
Right.
And that's a big positive right now because hopefully that's just behind us. I mean, you're obviously going to have injuries. It's football.
I thought about that, but I didn't want to say it, and you actually just said it. But I was never going to tell anybody that. But yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest positive. Every day that we can come out of camp without an injury is the most positive.
Well, it's like they're doing some like load management, but with like the entire team.
Well, and I think like I was telling Mike when you were going is I think the difference is the way they're rotating players.
They are rotating. I mean, especially with the receivers, it's never. I don't know. I have no idea how they're doing it. I don't even think Shanahan knows how they're doing it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you believe Shanahan to his word, he doesn't know what quarterback is back there. He said he knows the timing of each play. So they snap the ball, and then he's expecting to be thrown. If it's not, he's like, yo, who's back there? So if you hold him true to his word, even he doesn't know what's going on out there.
Yeah, he says that the position coaches, he said Keenan's just rotating the running backs. The Wes is just rotating the receivers. He doesn't even know who's out there, who's the starters, who anything like that. So,
all right, we good?
I'm good, man.
All right, guys, we're not going to belabor the moment. Then we got to wrap this thing up here, man. You guys are going to continue to get these camp breakdowns and everything that we've heard, everything that we've seen. And if Eric is around, he can bring you guys alive and raw footage and everything too, or not footage, but his recaps of what he saw. And we're just going to go from there. So we're going to thank you guys for checking us out. Again, guys, check out the website. It's www.nothingbutniners.com. Okay, you're going to see everything over there. I am 49ers Mike _NF. Eric is Eric _Crocker on Twitter. And Nick is 49er Faithful 365. Fellas, any last words?
Yeah, just make sure you check out Croc's podcast as well. Press Cov podcast on Twitter.
And he's got one dropping tomorrow too.
What's that?
Oh, Wednesday. He got one dropping on Wednesday also.
Is it right?
The 49 with Kevin Jones and
Striking Gold.
Yeah, Striking Gold.
Striking Gold. Croc is on there as well with Kevin Jones and Rob Louder, right? Yeah. So make sure you guys check those out. You can check out our podcast as well over there on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play. It's just Nothing But Niners. Check that out. And, just make sure you give Croc a follow on his personal and his podcast one, Press Cov, COV podcast. Like Mike said, man, that's pretty much all I got tonight.
If you are watching this thing live right now, at this very moment, you have exactly 10 minutes of free shipping on 49ers.com for any of your purchases. All right, so guys, get over there, buy something, support your favorite player. We're going to get up out of here. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
We out of here.
Peace.